I'm judging you right now. Just kidding, I'm not. But if you've ever been judged before, you know how uncomfortable it is. And if you've never been judged before, then I know you're full of shit. Because judgment is something we cannot outrun. Does that freak you out? Good. Let's discuss. I'm Brittany, and welcome back to Get Your Shit Together. Let's cut down to brass tacks here, shall we? We judge others, they judge us. There's no hiding from it. Not even Mother Teresa can hide from judgment, or the Pope, or Tom Hanks. No matter who you are or what you do, no matter how amazing you are, no matter what a saint you are, someone, somewhere, is going to have something negative to say. And that's the truth. So if you want to escape this life without being judged or feeling judged, or you operate out of fear of being judged, I have news for you. You're still being judged. So what we do is change who we are out of fear of something that's happening anyway. It makes a lot of sense, right? Come on. With that being said, knowing that we are always being judged, no matter how great we are all great. Remember that. The only time we're going to be impacted by judgment is when we actually believe that what someone is judging us for is true. We are no longer going to be affected by others' judgment of us when we no longer believe that their judgments are true, which is why we might be of the mindset that we're going to do whatever we want to do because only what I think matters. But there are still going to be small things that trigger us or upset us. This is vibe shifting gold right here. And we can use it to our advantage. If you pay attention to the things that make you feel judged, you've got the key to what belief systems you hold about yourself that need to be worked on, or at least reflected on. Let me give you an example of how this can shift. My poor students and clients have heard this story before, so bear with me. Way back in the day, in grade school, I was bullied very hard, to the point of having suicidal thoughts. I was so depressed. It was all because I decided to take on what people were thinking about me and saying about me as true. So one very superficial but very real thing that people used to make fun of me for was that I was pale. It was the 90s. That beautiful orange self-tanner color was all the rage. And there was no room for pale people in pop culture, as far as my 7th and 8th grade class would let you believe. People would literally always make fun of me for being pale. Who's the most albino in the classroom? Brittany is. Hey, Casper. And it used to make me so upset. I took what they were saying as truth. It meant that I was ugly. It meant that no one would ever love me. And it meant that I couldn't have any friends. And because they judged me for it, and because I took their judgment on as a belief that was true, it fucked with me. And I placed all my worth into that belief and other beliefs like it. So I would then cover myself in that fake tanner. So instead of being white, I was pumpkin. It's what all the other girls did. So I might as well do what I can to fit in, right? To change how I look. Even though I fundamentally knew that it was the dumbest thing ever to paint my skin orange. And I stunk. That shit smelled horrible. Fast forward to high school and my early 20s, I did some exploration on my beliefs of the self. And I realized, just because I'm see-through does not mean that I'm ugly. Or that I'm never going to be loved or have friends. That was the story I told myself. So when I decided to change the story, that pale could be pretty too, when people would bring it up to me about how ghastly I was or see-through that I was, rather than immediately being triggered and seeing it as true, I could say, yeah, I know, I'm wicked white. And that was that. There was no more flare-up of anger or fear or concern or a spiral into a negative story. Yes, I'm pale. This is how I look. The end. Bet they didn't know vampires were going to be all the rage either. Suckers. When we shift our beliefs about what we think is true, it's no longer going to negatively impact us. We can only be impacted by what we believe is true. Here's another important fact about judgment. When we are judged, it has everything to do with the person judging us and nothing to actually do with us. Think about the self-tanner. All the girls at my school self-tanned, which meant that all of them were pale, or at least paler. But it was easier to point out me, being the outcast, to turn away the attention from the fact that they also self-tanned. They were hiding their own insecurities, and I wasn't hiding mine at the time. Remember these things when you are feeling and being judged, and use them to your advantage for growth. You are being judged no matter what. Whether you stay the same, whether you change, whether you are yourself or act like someone else, you're going to be judged. So it's up to you how much energy you want to put into changing yourself based solely on fear of judgment. When you are judged, you will only respond negatively because part of it feels true for you. Explore it, learn from it, work on it, grow. When you are judged, the person judging you is coming from a place of insecurity too. So ask yourself how much energy you want to be putting into the thoughts of someone else who's projecting their shit onto you. Listen, I know it sucks to feel judged, but it is something that you can work through, and it's something that you can overcome to find more of your inner badass. Thank you for your time. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for all the love and the sharing and the commenting and the likes. Please continue to do so. Don't forget to subscribe. If you're not following me on Instagram yet, follow me at Brittany Luna Shift, and I will see you next time.